All right, so there are 105 small businesses on Ocracoke. Of those 105 businesses, 88 were flooded. Over 400 of the 1,200 homes on Ocracoke were flooded. And out of the 400 and some that were flooded, that's where 70% of the full-time residents live. So basically 70% of Ocracoke full-time residents have been displaced out of their homes because of this. Basically, what it boils down to is the 5 counties in North Carolina that Roy Cooper included in the disaster emergency, proposal or whatever. These are all very rural communities, very small communities. So when FEMA decides whether or not to help somebody, it's based upon numbers. How many homes were damaged? How many homes were destroyed? How many people were displaced? How many blah, blah, blah. So, I told you that 90% of the businesses on Ocracoke got flooded. I told you that 70% of residents were displaced and that a third of the houses in our community were damaged. But FEMA doesn't work off percentages. They work off numbers. And so basically we're being penalized for being a small community in essence. So we have already started the motions to appeal the process. It's very common that FEMA will deny, and then if you appeal it, then you can get denied again, of course, but then sometimes they'll come through. And what we are hoping is that when you go through the appeals process, that they'll look a little bit more into the specifics and details, that they'll look at the percentages, and they'll look at, how it's affected. Basically, this has affected 100% of the people who live on Ocracoke. And there's houses on Ocracoke that have like marks of how high the water got on like the side of their building. Dorian was 2 feet higher than any other hurricane we've ever had. If your house wasn't destroyed, then your business was. If your business wasn't destroyed, then the place that you work was destroyed. If the place that you work wasn't destroyed, then your mom's house was destroyed. It's just heartbreaking to watch people that you've known for 40 years lose everything they have.
Mhm.
Even still, when I leave my yard and go down the street, there's just, piles and piles of people's belongings everywhere. If FEMA doesn't come through, then after the 12 weeks of unemployment that the state provides, when that runs out, then you're ineligible to get any other help. If FEMA declared, then we could get 12 more weeks of unemployment, which would get us through till the spring season. Also, FEMA would also help some of the people that were, uninsured and on fixed incomes, like the elderly and stuff, would help them rebuild their homes. And again, it's not only because that opens up monetary avenues, because it releases us from a lot of the bureaucracy and a lot of the hoops you got to jump through in order to get normal assistance.
So, for those that are watching or listening and they would like to help out, what would be the best course of action for an individual to take?
Well, there's the OBX Foundation, which had been set up to help, and they're doing an adopt a family program out of that
Okay.
through the Life Saving Church. So basically, what that means is you can sign up to adopt a family. Um, the PTA is accepting donations for the classrooms and stuff. The school got flooded out,
Hmm.
and there's only 4 classrooms out of the 15 that did not get damaged. So not all of the teachers basically lost all of their supplies in their classrooms. Those 2 programs are definitely ones that are going to be very beneficial. But I would just suggest just putting pressure on our state senators and the governor, just to
Yeah.
keep pressure on them, to keep pressure on the feds, to try to make them understand how dire the situation is, and how dramatically it will affect every single person who lives here.
Thank you so much for calling, Jason, and I wish you and everyone down there the very best of luck. And
Well,
Just
we thank
like
you
I
very
said,
much.
yeah, like I said, please, just let us know if there's anything we could do on our end here.
Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
You too. Have a great day.